So, as you can tell by the dulcet tones of one Alex Thomas and disembodied myself, it's time for Mumamo. Today, we're constructing the ultimate superhero team, which is actually one word instead of two, as shown here. We're going to have to fire that person immediately.
Who's in the graphics department, Troy?
The graphics department has failed us again. Kidding, that's me. Claude says, ultimate superhero team, you say? This just makes me think it's the Marvel Ultimate Universe equivalent of the Freedom League. I like that. Mastermind of Pook says, happy Mumamo superfan. Grognard Piper says, I'm usually running M&M in my own universes for the team. I'm down to let almost anything fly. Grognard, thank you for coming. David Bollock says, graviness to all. And to all a good gravy, I say. Hey, SC Terran Marine reminds me, Alex, is it the first show of the new year?
It is. Welcome to 2024. We survived.
We did survive. Now, folks, if you're new to the stream, you're probably wondering, who's talking? And if you are, well, let me help you with that. It's this guy.
It's me. Hello, everyone. A joyous Mumamo upon us all.
And
back. I missed everybody over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, me too, Alex. Me too. Happy New Year, everybody says. Happy Mumamo, everyone says. Rebel Moose. Gene says hi. Now, Gene, I'm wondering if you're excited at all by the fact that today, in just about every way, every format, everything possible, we've released what we like to call astonishing adventure.
Yeah, our first M&M release of the year, Troy. We're 8 days in.
Whatever happened. That's right. Whatever happened to the next gen? Are you curious as to whatever happened to the next gen, friends? Because
I can't believe Dom is messaging us on LinkedIn.
Is that the truth? I do like it. You know, here's the thing. LinkedIn is the world's worst social media network, and we just wanted to give it a little juice, have a little fun. Let people know what we're all about. Maybe they want to link up. If you are listening over there, like Dominic is, who is having a fun time over there, say hi, say hello.
Troy, I don't want to alarm you, but you just shared the link to the Cosmic Handbook.
Oh, what the heck? Cosmic Handbook? That's not it.
That is not the adventure that we released.
No, but buy it if you don't have it. Someone out there doesn't, and I was very concerned. But what I meant to do is this. Bloop. Is today Claude's birthday?
3 days.
3 days of birthday?
Well, in 3 days it will be class.
Oh, in 3 days. Got you. Well, this is just birthday week then, huh?
Yeah. Birthday month, birthday year. Since he starts in the beginning of the year, that's nice.
That's right. Oh, and Claude, I am assembling a bucket of stuff for you at my own very own human home. It might be a little, moist, but it'll be a bunch of podcast supply so we can start doing some stuff from home. A gift from me for your birthday.
Troy, when you call it a human home, people start to question the humanity of your existence.
That is very true. My fault.
You are just a normal everyday human, I suppose.
Well, yeah, but I'm a disembodied temporal being for the purposes of this discussion. Tempo says, do you prefer Puella, Magi, Madoka, Magica? You did this on purpose. Or Tiger and Bunny? Happy birthday, Claude.
I haven't seen that first one, but I do enjoy Tiger and Bunny.
Puella, Magi, Madoka, Magica. Am I saying that right? Please tell me I am.
I think so. I think I've heard the name Madoka before, but I don't know. Grognard says that Grognard's getting ready to run some M&M at his local gaming store in Bolingbrook, Illinois. That's awesome.
Get out. We love that.
Love that very much.
We do love that. Any chance that you'll be streaming that? It's okay if you're not. Not every encounter for Mutants and Masterminds needs to be streamed. But if it is streamed, let us know, and we will be happy to boost the signal. RC's thank you, RC. RC also says, I've never questioned Troy's human existence. I've straight up denied it. Plausible deniability is good.
RC's on the rooftop with the sign.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Who am I missing? I just want to make sure I've touched on all of the Dominic says, "Oh, I'm purely doing it for the memes, I assure you." Yes, the
Good
LinkedIn
choice.
memes. Have an update, an original next gen. Nice. Gene, you also asked a question on Facebook that I wasn't quite following, and I haven't checked back in to see if you've elaborated on. I think it was something about a number. Do let me know. But yeah, so today is building up a superhero team,
A whole team.
a whole team, and I'm really excited about it. We have fun with this. We'll take suggestions from the group, and Grognar says, "I'm not steaming that one." Let's see. I will run one online soon as well, though, but they're not the most PC games. That's okay. That's okay, so long as they're not, you know, awful. As long as we are, I think a PG-13 is just fine.
Yeah,
Give you your budget for the various words that we don't really use on this program, but that we use frequently behind the scenes. Let's see,
and
Dominic.
on our After Dark programs.
That's true. And if you haven't seen our After Dark programs, that means you're not in the loop, and you probably want to, send a note to Let's Play at Green Ronin, and we'll let you in on a big secret. Or am I lying? I'm probably lying, Alex. Alex, how would you like to move forward?
Well, did we show the cover for the new adventure? I think we should do that while I'm finishing up my last little note here.
We can definitely do that. Let me give you buy you some time. I think
it's a really good cover. I was very pleased with
it's very striking. Let me share this. Oh, son of every gun. Hold on one second. Just real quick, I want to say hello to our friends on Instagram, where we are streaming live for you in the new year. We'll continue to work and figure out all of that stuff because Instagram has to do it in the portrait instead of landscape, and so it'll be a little weird, but it'll at least be. So if you're over there, say hey, so we can count you in on the community shenanigans. And let's see, I've got my astonishing adventures in the Green Ronin online store to share with you.
Whatever happened to the next gen?
Whatever happened to them?
Well, they got abducted by Dr. Sin and cloned.
For real?
I mean, that's what happens in this adventure. Spoiler alert.
Spoilies. There we go. Is this it? This is it. This is it. Do we see it?
Nah,
there we go.
Maybe? Yeah, there it is.
Ta-da! Aha! I do love this cover art. It is great. Do we know off the top of our noggin what artist was responsible for such beautiful work?
I think it's in the credits right there. On the right, in that little area, I think.
It sure is. Writing design, Aaron Einhorn. Developer, Alex Thomas. Hey, that's you.
Hey, that's me. Aaron Einhorn is also a new writer for Mutants and Masterminds. This is his first publication.
Hey. Look, proofreading by none other than Nicole Lindrews. Art direction by Hal. Graphic design by Crystal, Kara, and Hal. Let's see. Art is Darren Calvert, Alan Dunning, Alberto Focci, whom we love. Tony Harris. Nice. Okay, so it looks like I'm not sure who did the cover art.
I think Darren did the cover art.
Yeah, it looks like
I've seen his work on other stuff that we've done.
That does look like a D, doesn't it? There in the corner. Let me look at the stream and see if you can see it. Well, kinda. It's a little on the tiny side. My apologies. Bowman clone. What? Hardly. Let's see. I hate it when I have to beat up a clone of myself, says Mastermind of Pook. If there's a clone of you, sir, I say yes.
I say beat them up immediately, is what Troy says.
I say yes. Punch them up. So there you go. There's that. Link in chat. I will drop it once more, but also you'll find it in. We've got. Let's say you're a Roll20 aficionado. You can also head over to DriveThru RPG and pick up the Fun Bundle, which is. I'm gonna get in trouble for saying that because every time I thought I made a recommendation that we call it the Fun Bundle, everyone said no. But it is fun. It is a bundle, and it is available for a discount. And you basically get the Roll20 and the Drive-Thru RPG bundled together. So there you are.
The Fundle, says Mastermind Apuk.
The Fundle. I like that a lot. It has a real bad mouthfeel. Hey, before we dive into the big meat of the matter today, do me a favor. Take a look at where you are. Whether you're hanging out with Dominic over in LinkedIn, or you're at YouTube, or you're hanging out at Facebook, Twitch, Twitter even, do me a favor and make sure you give the live stream a like, and make sure you give, why not share it with a friend? Make sure you're following us. Make sure you've got us, that we are, click on that bell, because once you do that, then you get notified when we go live. And it's we try not to be too noisy, but we do some great live streams, ones that you'll really enjoy.
And we get really noisy. I don't know where Troy gets the idea that we try not to be noisy.
That's right. During the stream, we definitely get noisy. That is true. We've got a lot of talk about clone stuff going on here. I love that. That's a fundle. Hornetico says, anytime you encounter a clone of yourself is an opportunity to prove exactly why you are the evil twin. That's a good assessment to make, I'd imagine.
I agree. So we are we're building a superhero team today. And specifically, we were looking to build a superhero team in opposition to the villainous team we made last month, the E-Team, featuring the idiot battlesuit who took his brother's criminal empire, that brother's ex-sidekick who's really the brains behind everything, the Robo-Rat who's probably going to rise up and destroy everyone, and then the Runt and the Gladiator from outer space, who both wanted to just be like tough dudes together.
I love it. I forgot about those. And thank you to our head of Hero Resources for reminding me of those. And of course, the chat as well. And so how do you want to operate today? Should we take some suggestions from the crowd? Should we start with a place, a person, a thing?
Well, I want to make 5 heroes to go up against our 5 villains here.
Okay, I like it.
And I think since we took suggestions from the crowd for the villains, we should roll for archetypes and then take suggestions.
Ooh, I like it. Okay.
Based on those archetypes. So I think we should roll 5 d20s and see what we come up with. And we'll share the suggestions with everybody, and then we'll brain leak together.
Did you say brain leak?
Yes. Yep.
I love it. Yes. Now we're talking.
Claude says we should make 13 super speedsters instead.
Oh, sure. Exactly. That would be pretty easy, actually. All right. So are we rolling against the archetypes in the
Deluxe Heroes Handbook? I think is a good place to start.
Perfect. Now, would you like me to do the rolling, or would you like to do the rolling?
Do you have a D20 handy?
I do.
Then I think you should do the rolling.
Well, why don't I do that? My first roll is a 10.
A 10. What does that give us? A 10 gives us a Paragon. So a Superman type, invulnerable, flies. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Superman type. It could also be a Captain America type. Somebody who's just a really good leader and all around defender of the innocent. So
love
good
that.
Start.
And the next one is a 1.
That's a battle suit.
Cool. Okay.
Is awesome because one of the members of the villain team is a battle suit too. So this could be somebody who's trying to take back the legacy of the hero who was betrayed.
I dig it. Next one is a 2.
A 2. That's a construct. So that's a robot or a Frankenstein's monster or something that's not human. We're alive.
Okay, I like that. And an 8.
An 8 is a mimic, which is somebody who mimics other people's superpowers.
Ooh, I dig it. Okay, and did we say a total of 5?
Total of 5. We got one more.
Final one is 16.
16 is a supernatural creature.
Okay, cool. I'm into it.
Which I believe in the Deluxe Heroes Handbook, the 3 power suites are vampire, werewolf, and demon. I want to double check.
When's the last time you created a werewolf hero?
Well, I create them semi-frequently, but that's because Titan City has their first monster police officer is a werewolf.
Oh, hey, I like that. Yeah. I mean, I like it. It feels different and awesome to me. Sweet. Let's see what folks are saying in chat. Oops, all Bowman, says RC.
All Bowman, always.
Sean Vieira, good to see you. Sean says, is it not in Troy's contract that he must have a D20 handy at all times? I will tell you, I carry a D20 in my pocket. That is no lie.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Hooray, the battle suit is my favorite archetype, says SC Terra Marine. Dominic is a fan of the Captain America type. The demon is rad.
I think it's really interesting that we have 3 options here that could potentially be like supernatural creatures.
Yeah, it feels to me too like we've got options that could be very easily maybe former baddies.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if it was like the rogues gallery of the previous battlesuit hero when they found out that he was actually a villain.
Right. This is very interesting. We got some interesting questions cooking here, and I think this is all part of the fun.
Yeah, the Necromancer squad. I think we should have a Necromancer squad.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe the battlesuit is like the Frankenstein of the group who's made all the other ones.
Well, here's a question from Claude. For funsies, could we flavor the demon as an angel?
Yeah, that's easy enough.
Very interesting. RC says we have a hero werewolf on the pod, but only because the heroes went, he can't control himself. We got to help him. So I lost a villain. That's awesome when your players go so off book that they end up turning your villains into heroes. Mastermind Pook says something. Okay, so let's pick something other than a wolf, though, like an elephant, a falcon, an octopus, a snake. Oh, a were octopus.
Well, Claude and Apuk have put werebears in.
Werebears. Werebear. Sure.
Yeah,
I mean, what do you
having a
think?
lycanthrope that's a different kind of animal is always fun. Yeah, I think we should probably start. Well, I think we need to figure out how they're connected, and then we start building down the line. But if
I'm not
let's
sure.
just start
Can you
going.
guys hear me
I can
in
hear you
chat?
now. Troy.
Okay, great. Sorry about that. I think I dumped for a minute.
Oh, no worries. So I say we start with the Paragon, and we work our way down and see where we're at.
Okay, let's do it.
Imagine being bitten by a radioactive werewolf and gaining double wolf powers. So, Paragon, do we want to go with something that's sort of traditional, sort of like a Superman archetype or a Captain Marvel archetype, or sort of invulnerable, good at protecting other people, super strength, or do we want to lean more into like the Cyclops or the Captain America, where they're a little stronger than regular people, but their main asset is being a good leader?
Too, I'm wondering if there's any kind of a creative play on that leadership sort of trope. A Hercules type, David Bodie says. Interesting. I like that.
Yeah, a demigod would be interesting if we want to keep with the supernatural theme.
Yeah, Raymond says dig it in there with the Captain America Paragon type, or some type of demigod, sure. Jenny Quantum. Do you know who that is?
Jenny Quantum's a name I haven't heard before.
David Bullock. Who is Jenny Quantum? Okay, it sounds like there's quite a few for the Captain America type.
Oh, Jenny Quantum's she's with the Authority.
Oh, I see.
The adopted daughter of Midnight and Apollo. She's pretty cool.
Well, so just taking a very unscientific poll, it sounds to me like folks are really into the idea of a Captain America type. So I like Dominic's idea that the Paragon is a semi-angelic and is redeeming all these weirdos to do good. That's really not a bad idea.
Yeah, maybe the Paragon, maybe the reason they're semi-angelic is because they're a real angel, but they had to give up a lot of their powers to come down to Earth to lead these supernatural creatures into the light or something like that. And that's why they're more Captain America than Superman.
So Craig McNichol says the villains harmed a random kid in the past, and now her fairy godmother is here to thwart evil on their behalf. That's interesting. Yeah. Do we want to tie any villain specifically to like the last team that we made? Like maybe they did something to move this team to be created?
Yeah, I think it's interesting because the villain team we made is very science based, and this hero group is shaping up to be very magic based.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see, a dying angel and a dying criminal fused together to stay alive. Ooh.
Ooh.
I like that conflict and the complications that brings about.
Yeah, Claude, I think we're gonna write that down for our Paragon here,
Yeah,
and
agree.
we'll mix it with got in trouble.
Yeah, fun, really good stuff. Perhaps a
So
fairy godmother gathered the team in the first place. Yeah.
our Paragon is an angel who was sent to Earth, stripped of their power, and sent to Earth, where they fused with a criminal. Fused with dying criminal.
Yeah, that could be a very interesting, sacrifice that the two are making, and something about their pact together to keep them enmeshed and connected. I like that. I wonder what would their complications be?
I think part of why the angel was stripped of their power is because the angel was the guardian angel of this particular moron. And the
Yeah,
angel kept intercessing on that person's behalf until they were like, "Look, he's evil. He's got to go to hell or whatever." And the angel's like, "No, I can fix him."
I see. Yes, yeah, that old saw. So the opposite of Spawn. They steal a magic item. That's why the team is after them. Well, that could be somebody on the team for sure.
Yeah, the villains could have stolen something of that nature.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of mutagenic device or amulet or something fun like that.
This is interesting. SC Terra Marine says, since the villain is a battlesuit rat, the hero should be a female gorilla wearing a battlesuit. Since rats and primates are used in scientific experiments, Robo-Rat and Armored Ape Woman are bitter rivals.
Yeah, that's a good tie to the that's a good tie into the experimental nature of the villains for sure. That battlesuit could be somebody who escaped and maybe was awoken by the ex sidekick or the old hero who got betrayed.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Experiment. That's a good connection to the other team. So
now this is interesting. I know that we've kind of moved in two different directions here with that sort of fairy godmother idea, that caretaker or whatever, the guardian angel. But Hanover Fist says to take Craig's idea a bit further, she's all the team's fairy godmother, and she assembled and leads the team in a powerful non-combat advisor PLX role. Okay, interesting. So, like, maybe a guiding voice throughout, their adventures, and someone who just sort of speaks to them telepathically or something, but doesn't really.
yeah, has rules about getting involved.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. So, kind of the sixth member.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the NPC voice of reason.
I like it.
Fairy godmother Nick Fury is what I'm writing down.
Yes.
Fury godmother.
Fury godmother. I like it. That works for me.
Robert Kemp suggests the Galactic Bounty Hunter after the space gladiator, who's a loose cannon, has to learn a lot about being a hero. That could be fun.
Oh yeah, I like that.
We could make that the construct. That could be it could be a robot sent by the gladiators' people to bring them back to answer for their crimes.
Oh, I like it. What's a terpsichord?
That's a word I also don't know.
Yeah. Well, you know
I'm
what I
learning
say.
A lot of words today. That doesn't happen very often.
You know what I say? If you don't know the words, just blurt it out on live streams for everyone to figure out. A fury. Okay. Let's see. Dominic says, I'm thinking the mimic could be like a wax man who can change his appearance Clayface style, like that one wax villain in Earth Prime. That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. A terpsichord is a musical instrument. A dancer. Okay. Where are we at right now? Let's double check on this. So did we go with Robert Kemp's Galactic Bounty Hunter after the Runt and the villain group?
I think I like that idea. I think I like that for the construct rather than the battle suit, because I do think there's something to Because the former villain, the person who started all of this is a battle suit. So
I see.
I like the idea that the battle suit is also an extension of that connects it to the other one. So
Gotcha.
Construct is Galactic Bounty Hunter robot sent to retrieve the Space Gladiator and learns it does. I mean, it doesn't have to be a bounty hunter. They could be a galactic law enforcement robot or the Manhunters from Green Lantern, that sort of deal. Manhunt, yeah, the
Sure.
Manhunters. Galactic bounty hunting robot.
I see. So Tisiphone is a god of is one of the Furies. Okay, I see where we're going. I see. The Avenger of Murder.
One of Granny Goodness's Furies?
You know, I'm not sure, but I see where you're going with this. David Bullock talked about perhaps this is the godmother character. Tisiphone is one of the Furies, the Avenger of Murder, the voice of revenge, the blood of I'm 5 years old, so I apologize. I'll just read this without laughing. The Aranyas were formed when the blood of Uranus fell on Gaia, who and when the son of Uranus, Cronus, killed him. So okay, yeah, that's it. I like that as a sort of NPC character. Tisiphone. Yes, and also a furry. Grognard would like us to include a furry, so why not?
But speaking of, I think the battle suit, I do like the idea of the lab ape. Gorilla. I mean, gorilla is classic comic book. It could be a big gorilla. Or a chimp if we want something a little smaller to deal with. Although we don't have a big creature yet.
That's true. Yeah. Also,
so like
David,
like Iron Ape is sort of what I'm thinking. Like,
oh yeah,
somebody dressed in a similar battle suit to the one that the villain on the other team rides in.
I think that sounds awesome, and that's the female ape, right? Is it the
Yep, the battle suit ape lady that somebody brought up earlier.
Also, David Bullock is sorry for the derail. It's never a derail. During Mumamo, it is what it is. Iron Ape Maiden, sure.
Iron Ape Maiden.
Let's see. Name for the battle suit: Ape Silverback.
Oh yeah, Silverback's a great battle suit name.
Yeah. Gene says, I say go with Ape. Okay. Claude says, I like the construct being really lanky and thin, telescoping limbs and such.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah,
so
tall, skinny space robot.
I like it.
Come with me, creep.
Right. Now, have we dug into the Mimic yet? I think there's been a couple suggestions, wax-faced kind of Boris Karloff type actor who gained powers from wearing so many different magical costumes. Okay. Or even just maybe one kind of sent them into mimicry for a profession.
That's a cool idea. Let me look at what it says in here for the Deluxe Heroes Handbook, see what kind of power sets we're dealing with. The Mimic copies the traits of others to use as their own. This affords them immense versatility, limited primarily by the type and availability of subjects. At the same time, the Mimic usually has few other abilities upon which to rely.
Okay.
And they're sort of factored along blank slate, capable of pursuing any path. A meta mind with a greater mental capacity allows them to master anything. And perfect weapon. You are a weapon created specifically to use your opponent's powers against them. What if the battle suit who started all of this was on another superhero team, and he was creating an Amazo style robot to tackle his other friends?
Oh, I like that.
He broke bad, and this is that weapon.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe the weapon broke free and accidentally downloaded some good conscience stuff.
Yeah, this is very interesting. Just as an idea, I'll throw it out there because it's creative, and I love that. Every time we kind of talk about this stuff, it spawns other ideas out there in the community. But the idea that the battle suit is the pilot is an actual smaller monkey, as and the suit is a giant war gorilla. That's kind of fun and clever. The mimic is a mirror, crystalline entity. Ooh,
It's a lot of fun too.
wow, I like that. Is it difficult, Alex, just to ask you a quick question, because I like to dig around in your mind sometimes. Um, y- there are so many directions that you can go in with this stuff. How easy or difficult is it for you to, how do you make the arbitration? How do you litigate all of these ideas and have them fight each other in a Thunderdome, and who wins?
It's really easy to get bogged down in sort of decision paralysis is one of the hardest things with a game as wide open as M&M. Um, I often find just jump with the first thing that your gut sort of is like, oh, that's a cool idea, and then build from that instead of getting bogged down in so many high brow concepts.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's very instinctual. It's very much like that's a cool idea. I want to do that. Or you hear something and you're like, oh yeah, I can build off that and this and that and that.
I like that. Claude mentions a tiny, is it capuchin
Yep.
monkey in a silverback suit? Funny. Let's see. Silverback's taken by Hero Games. Dr. Silverback is a gorilla who is the champion super scientist.
Mm.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, Claude mentions I like to narrow these down by what would look cooler as a splash page group shot. Sure, yeah. Taiki's Games says, pardon me if I'm butchering your name, friend. Exotic alien crystals that copy powers and minds, learning from other minds, especially heroes, taught it morality.
Yeah, I
Very
mean,
interesting.
and we did establish with the villain that he was doing experiments on aliens, so there could be another thing that he found that he didn't fully understand that he was trying to turn into a weapon.
Right. I love the idea of a, sort of morally gray or fully bad decision making impacting a alien being to be good.
Yeah, and we've sort of established that with I mean, the angel is here to teach them morality. So all of these characters have that sort of I need to learn a lesson in order to be a good hero behind them. The other four that we've got, I think is a cool connecting piece for them.
Agreed.
And the crystal combines the mirror idea that somebody else put up. Um,
Yeah, it sure does. I love that idea. Is that a concept? I'm trying to think of if I've ever seen a concept like that where the mimic is a mirrored kind of reflection of who they're looking at or who they've seen, or like what are
uh,
their powers?
yeah, I mean, their power would be power mimicry, so they would see other things going on and they would absorb those abilities and redirect them. Sort of like it sees Superman use heat vision, and now it has heat vision, or it sees that Thor has a cool cape, and now it has a cool cape.
And what are the limitations on that? Is there a time limitation? Like you had to have seen it before, or you
That
just see it and it goes in the library?
that's something to work out with your game master.
Sure.
But as far as mutants and masterminds terms, your power duplication is built on variable. So as long as you have under the points cost of your variable, you can hold on to those powers as long as you want. But
Okay, cool.
if you want a story reason that they go away after a certain amount of time, that's something else to look into. Yeah, mimic is one of the archetypes that is it's got an asterisk next to it because people like to um, GMs want to make sure that the player knows how the point buy system works in M&M before you allow that, because there's a lot of math at the table with that. You get basically a
Sure.
free pool of points that you can retool your powers from. And I always recommend GMs ask their players to have a pool, like a library of powers that they use on a regular basis to not slow things down.
Right, right. That sort of a kid in the candy store, what to pick.
Yeah, or if you're GMing and you know that your players are going to want to take an ability from somebody else, have an index card ready that says how many points that power is, and then hand that over to them so they know what they're working with.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
And Grognard, I will not stand for this cape slander. All of those deaths are on Edna Mode's hands. Velcro has existed since the 1950s.
I mean, we've established Edna Mode was really the villain here,
Mm-hmm.
the true villain. Yeah, yeah.
Yep, breakaway clothing has been around for a long time. Those capes should not have been indestructible.
It is a weird point that I didn't quite put together until I heard Alex's impassioned argument against Edna, and I have to agree.
Capes are cool.
Capes are cool. Velcro exists. Okay, so that being said, did we land on a particular style or size of monkey?
I'm happy with Capuchin. I think that's cool with
Cute.
like a little monkey inside a big battle suit. That's a ton of fun.
Oh, of course, Grognard. We are too. We are too. It's all fun. That's it. All heroes should have tearaway capes and tearaway pants.
Yes.
Thank you, Claude. Indeed. You never know. Well, that's a complication. So this team to make money is a bunch of sort of singing telegram folks. Little monkey at Billy. What? Jeez. Little monkey, Billy Batson ape.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure. A necklace that just protects. Okay, we're talking about capes. We're talking about how to do capes safely in chat, and I appreciate that. And
look, capes are dope.
Capes are dope. All right, so who do we have next?
The supernatural creature is the last one we need to nail down. Although the mimic needs a name. Somebody suggested Spawn. I almost think Shard is a better name.
Oh gosh,
sort of like a crystal creature.
So good. That's so good.
Yeah, its real name is imperceptible from human tongues because it's from space.
Yeah.
So alien crystal that mimics powers and shapes.
So we've got werebat or werejaguar.
Ooh.
Oh, we've got a golem. There's a suggestion for a golem for a supernatural. Magical girl heroine, just to change the pace. Wear hair.
Its name is a pattern of light. Yeah, Tyke, I like that a lot. It just sort of, you ask it what its name is and it glitters for a second.
That's so great.
I don't know what that means, Shard.
Wereworm.
A wereworm. A warehouse.
I woke up so tired. All I did last night was lay in bed and wiggle.
We already have an ape. We don't.
Let's see. Since they're glass, their real name sounds like a crystal wind chime. Sure. Lights and chimes. And were chinchilla. What about a were capybara?
A were capybara. That would be adorable.
What about a mystical transformation like a Bwana beast? Ooh, sorry, Robert Kemp. Sorry, we kind of jumped right over a were warthog.
A were hyena would be cool. A were jackal. That's sort of getting into like Anubis territory if we want to go into, if we're looking at specific supernaturals.
Listen, I'm obligated. I'm obligated because chat, like that's what we do. We have to read the things that are written. And someone says, "Can I suggest a gravy squad?" And my answer is, "Sure, suggest it."
You can suggest whatever you want. A were human.
Oh, funny. Okay, I'm trying to think of how that would be. So, would it be an animal that got bitten to then they have to turn into a human in the full moon?
Well, there are werewolves like that were wolves who now turn into people.
I've honestly, of all the things, I've not really explored that part of the a were dog. Okay, are we set in the were territory? Could we have a hero with powers based on a supernatural creature? I mean, I don't know. Is any of this baked in?
We are not beholden to a were creature. We could look at a vampire, a demon. We have an angel already, so a demon would be sort of funny to have on the team. Sort of make it a good omens situation.
So David, what he says, where in language means man. So a were man would be a man.
We have a man in our continuity already.
Nice. Okay. Selkie, we need some water powers. Huh.
Or actually, I think we have a teen. I don't think we don't have man. We have teen. But we made a joke that man was his dad.
Claude says, I can be your angle or your devil. Three-headed hellhound wrestler.
Ooh, a Cerberus would be kind of neat.
Wow. Okay, I like that.
The demon lost a bet with the angel.
Interesting.
Yeah. What if it is a demon and it is the creature that has been assigned to monitor the angel's progress, or like it's the one that gets to decide if the angel gets to go to heaven when it's done.
Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. Sort of like the a cosmic sort of I don't know, like
Parole
I'm thinking,
officer.
yeah, parole officer. That's right. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Hanover Fist says maybe they're an alien with very animal-like features, and then you get that whole "I'm not a raccoon" thing too. Okay, that's fun. Tyke's games. Am I saying it right? Tyke. Let me know, friend. Give us the old phonetic spelling. It says someone that draws on astrological signs.
Draws
I
on
do.
astrological signs so they can keep
Yeah.
the forms of the different animals, like
Oh, sure. Is there a base
ram, the
element?
bull, the crab.
The archer is a centaur,
Yeah, centaur, I think.
or is there
It could Gemini and make two of itself.
is there an element for each of the? I'm not much of a.
There are water signs and fire signs, I've been told to believe.
Right. Okay. So it's not like one is fire, one is a rock, one is steam.
Yeah, I think there's 4 of them. I think the 12 signs are divided between the 4 elements.
Got you.
Like there's fire signs and water signs and
Of the.
the
Sorry, I'm
were
typing
Cerberus is
something here.
fine too.
I honestly I can't stop thinking about how clever that is. Just the idea of a Cerberus turning into a three-headed human, and
Ugh,
what the weird complications would be about that conversation.
that would be bananas.
Oh, Sean Holland. Okay, I got you, Sean.
It didn't have 3 heads before it got bit by Cerberus.
Until the fire signs attacked. Yes, that's right, Apook. Of the astrological.
I do like the idea of an anthropomorphic crab or a lobster or something like that.
I do too. Well, actually, that they could actually be still part of the 7 zodiac signs. I wonder if so it's a ram, a bull. A ram and a bull are really very similar, honestly. But crab, lion, scorpion, a sea goat, and a fish. A sea goat. I guess I didn't realize. Okay, yeah. So would it be like they depending on what month it is, they have the power of the how would you parse that out?
I think it would be almost like a dial H for hero situation where the player would be like, all right, activate my powers. And then they roll a d20 and that determines what sign they get to call on for that round.
Ooh, I like it.
Like they're all sort of competing to be manifested through this person.
Oh,
There's some conversation going on about 3 humans that are drawn together every full moon to form the Cerberus, which is really cool.
that's very, very cool. There's also this idea. David Bullock said, I would think the crab would manifest as armor, but so what would be the very not so obvious impact or effect if you were to be like the ram? You would have horns, or some kind of
You have
a
like horns and spider
concussive.
climbing.
Yeah, some kind of concussive power or something. That's sort of a ram sort of thing. Crab armor, scorpion,
Stinger.
stinger. Yeah, yeah, I like that. A charge attack. Yeah, that's kind of what I was leaping. Sure, yeah, very interesting. Where Crawdad from South Louisiana, Cajun country named Crawdaddy.
That's right there. I'm out there in the swamps doing a crawdaddy thing.
I like it. A slam. Yeah, the ram gets speed, something like that. Yeah, maybe some interesting, curious. What would a sea goat give you?
Swim speed.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's a sea goat, so it must swim well. Like, why? I don't
Yeah,
even know what a sea.
And I think that is sort of the decision you have to make when you go with this zodiac idea is if they have all of the abilities at the same time, or if they take on sort of like Vixen in the Justice League takes on the aspects of a zodiac from round to round.
Yeah, that's a very good question. What would be probably the factor in this? Would it be sort of the ease of managing all of these pieces?
Yeah, it would definitely get confusing. You'd have
Yeah.
to if you were doing different aspects, you'd have to have like an index card for each one to tell you what powers you had each given round. Or if you had the mixed one, you'd you'd have just one big power block basically. You'd be mostly a powers based character. You'd have like the crab armor, the stinger, the horns, the hooves, the lion's teeth. I don't know.
Yeah, or maybe a fierceness or an
Mhm.
influence that is very like, where you could kind of convince people to you're the, king of the jungle kind of thing.
Mhm. Crab claws.
Right. Huh. I'm thinking. I keep thinking of a sea goat. I just honestly, just for me, I'd never really. I've seen images of things, but I'd never really put together what a sea goat would actually be doing. Hornetica says, I once made a Zodiac inspired character named Detective Capricorn, who was a goat, power private eye.
Hmm,
Yeah,
that's what's up.
I like it. Let's see. Roll that beautiful D12 to determine the sign and control, says Gerald.
Yeah,
For a,
Gemini's the twin sign, David.
yeah. Oh, very interesting. So where are we at right now? Are we making a decision between a three-headed humanoid or a 12 powered, you know, mythical creature with all of the elements of the
Yeah.
astrological? Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, this concept is it's a cool
It's
idea.
big.
I don't know if it works on a team so well as being a
It
team by
could
itself. I'd be
I was
really
just
annoyed
gonna
at
say.
that player, I think, sitting at the table with them.
I think you're right. I think honestly, maybe we put that on ice and we create a astrological sign team and play around with that on another stream and then go with our Cerberus.
I think the Cerberus idea is my favorite of the bunch.
Claude says I'd go with Cerberus personally. So
Cerberus.
so is the idea that what is the idea here?
So I like the idea that it's three people who have to come together to activate their powers. I don't think it should be linked to a full moon because that means that player can only participate 3 nights out of each gaming month.
That's true. What if every full moon they could negotiate with each other to separate?
That'd be cool. If that's the only time that they could separate is on the full moon. I like that idea. And then when they come back, the personality in charge of the Cerberus body is different each time.
Ooh, that's interesting. So that means that whatever heads in the middle is the one in charge?
And they sort of rotate.
Sure. Okay.
Like
Um,
maybe it's not a lot. There's no like back to back.
why were they formed or how did this happen?
Hmm. This feels like Hades is meddling,
Uh-huh. Sure.
and not just because I love Hades the most and I'm biased, but
Yeah. But
Cerberus
this
is
is
Hades' dog.
right. Yeah, this feels like a on brand for Hades.
I
So
think maybe they're dead people who escaped from Hades, and while they were being chased by Cerberus, one of their spirits was bitten. And when they got to the world of the living, they manifested as bodies, but they manifested as one body because of Greek magic bad
what
wordery.
right. I was wondering too, what if they were charged with like, they tried to escape, but then Hades made some horrible deal with them, but they didn't realize the deal meant that they were all together, suffering in eternity or
Yeah, I
whatever.
think that's dope. I think that's cool.
That's
It's
fun.
so Hades too. The like, don't look back or she'll go back to hell sort of deal.
Right, right. So David Bullock mentioned make it a single head so they're only internally as Cerberus. Do you think that they should be I can't stop thinking about them being manifested as 3.
Yeah, I kind of like the 3-head idea. I mean, I know it's going to make life difficult for them getting around regular society because everybody's going to be like, "Oh my god, you have 3 heads everywhere they go."
So they've got a monstrous complication.
Yeah, that would be a monstrous complication. Making a firestorm situation where it's only 1 head with the inner dialogue is also, I guess, it's up to the player, I would say, because you have the option of the role playing for the we have 3 heads, it's a complication problem. But if they look the same and their brain just changes, that's 3 people who look the same trying to live 3 different lives, and that's an even deeper complication where it's like, "Oh,
Sure.
this is my wife 1 out of every 3 months, and this is my husband 1 out of every 3 months, and these are like my kids," and they just sort of, yeah.
Oh, that is fascinating. Yeah. And there might be some, sort of extended regret or I guess I could also see them making a choice at that time to split. Maybe there is a moment where they face the crossroads of we can split apart forever and risk this outcome that's ultimately bad, and no, we're going to go ahead and stick it together.
Mhm.
A metamorph would be a good mechanical way to play it. Okay.
Yeah, and each
What
of
if
the
we
heads
made
could have a different specialization so that it's never boring to play. Like you can have the brain head and the jock head and the mystic sorcerer head and
Oh,
just sort of
sure.
mess with them that way so it's a different power every month.
That's really fun. What if their power is duplication, but they can only be apart for short periods of time when they aren't using the actual power? They have to have 3 heads.
I think the 3
Huh.
heads is a striking image,
Yeah.
especially alongside sort of the galactic robot and the giant gorilla battle suit and the crystalline figure. I think having them have 3 heads and having the angel being the one creature in the team who looks normal, I think that's a cool idea.
Oh,
If we're
yeah.
thinking about the splash page.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I
Yeah, because
wonder. This is just a
yeah.
thought. Like, given that there are 3 heads and I'm presuming, have just the 2 arms and 2 legs, I wonder if maybe they created a third robot arm to fairly distribute all of the limbs amongst the heads.
Mm,
Food for thought. That's a weird one.
yeah. Hmm.
I remember that Gerald Scrimshire brings up, Man E faces. Didn't he have like the little spinning face? The little I loved He-Man action figures. Um, that I remember that one and the patchouli smelling one, the Moss Man.
Oh, he
Oh,
does have he's got like a metal box around his head that rotates.
nice.
Like
Okay, well,
his face is
interesting.
inside the box. That's cool.
Yeah. So maybe there's always one in charge, but there's 3 to pick from. Or I'm sorry, there's only
Mhm.
one manifesting, but it's could be one of the 3. That still would be pretty gross to look at. Let's see. Apuk says instead of sticking with strictly Western mythologies, asuras are angel-like beings from the Hinduism who have 3 heads,
Oh, yeah,
and
they
they
are
look
cool.
badass. Huh.
One of the Cerberus heads has to have a personality like Scrappy Doo. Cereberus power!
that from Raymond. I like that idea. Okay. Oh my gosh, Alex, we have 5 minutes left.
When did that happen?
It happens all the time. Where are we at in our journey here? Have we got a complete-ish team, or is there still some stuff to be kind of hammered out?
I mean, I think we have a complete team. Now it's just boiling down into stat blocks and figuring out what brought them together. Um, which would be the
Do
next
we
step of the session 0. If I was doing a session 0, I would go with all the players and be like,
Right.
"What's your concept?" And we would do this conversation we just had, and then we would get into how do these characters know each other? What is the what's their connecting tissue? Who's their nemesis?
Right.
How did they all meet the Fury Godmother?
Right. And so I'm looking at, okay,
Oh
let me
man,
I'm gonna
that could be a whole thing if all of these characters got their abilities because they made a wish to the Fury Godmother and it went way wrong, and that's why the person has 3 heads, and the capuchin monkey has a gorilla suit, and
Right. I love it. What's going on? Okay, I'm looking here on let's see, today is the 8th. Next week is the 15th. There's something going on the 15th. Is that a holiday of some kind?
that's Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
That is true, and I think we said we would be off that day because of it being a national holiday.
But we have a
The
special Mutants and Masterminds Tuesday on the 16th.
do we have it on the we do, that is true. I have one on the 9th as well. I'm not sure why. We'll have to talk about that. But yeah, so that's well, and the reason why is because that's launch day for our Kickstarter that folks should be signing up for and partying around. And I'm going to give you that link here in just a moment. Because we've got Valiant Adventures, right?
We do. The Valiant Adventures role-playing game, the Kickstarter goes live on January 16th, which is it's very exciting for all of us. It's
Mamu too, that's right.
Steve and I have been working very hard on bringing this comic universe to life in Mutants and Masterminds form. And there are a ton of exciting new rules for Mutants and Masterminds. There's a bunch of great information about the setting and how to use things like morally ambiguous characters and immortal PCs, and how to bring together a party of characters who aren't from the same universe. So there's a lot of useful information, even if you don't know anything about the Valiant universe. That's going to be a ton of fun.
That's right. And if you head on over now, you click on notify me on launch. That's a great indicator of how we're headed and what we're doing. So please do take a minute to go check out the Valiant Adventures role-playing game over at Kickstarter.com. If you're watching this on demand, you're going to want to check the chat and click on that link. And so here's a thought. We could either, at a point coming up, we can talk about the baddies, talk about the goodies, do some comparison, tell some stories, and then kind of fill some of that stuff out. Does that feel like a good next step for these guys?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we have awesome. We have our heroes, we have our villains. We need to have an actual play where they fight each other.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can cast them and yeah, absolutely. Well, maybe we did the villains, we did the heroes. Maybe we talk about settings and in story, and then throw it actual play.
Yeah, I'm kind of biased, but I want to set them into in Pinewood, Ohio, which is that's the new small town setting I've been working on for our upcoming Mutants and Masterminds place that you're coming up with, Troy.
What's the what now?
It's a product I'm developing specifically for the new thing that you're making for Mutants and Masterminds, Troy.
Yes. I am making a new thing, and some of you know what that thing is. That thing, I will continue the work on that for this week. And if you know what I'm talking about, and if you don't, you will soon. Said it could be New Orleans. Yeah,
I would love to get the Invincible license, Grognard. I don't know who to talk to about that, but that would be a ton of fun.
Yeah. Absolutely. Hey, what else do you have cooking this week? Or do we have a jog?
We do have a jog tomorrow. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. EST, we'll be getting back into developing our new setting for Mutants and Masterminds on the Joy of Game Mastering.
Nice.
We did some very foundational work a few weeks ago, getting into this really cool idea that Pope Brandon Brownstone came up with 42 different superheroes related to specific elements.
Ooh.
And yeah, we divvied up what the elements were, and we figured out that there are 6 locations that these superpowered people all showed up at once. So we're going to start developing those locations tomorrow. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, so tune in. What time is that again?
5 p.m. EST.
5 p.m. EST. Get over there. Check that out tomorrow right here in this place. We don't even have to swap out a skin suit. We just kind of move things around and redecorate a little bit. But wow, Alex, you got a lot of cool things cooking. A lot of great stuff coming up for Mutants and Masterminds. It is a good time to be a hero.
It's a great time to be a hero. RC, that other book that you're talking about is I don't want to say anything about it, but I have good news about that.
Nice.
Grognard, there will be 2 Valiant books to start with, and we'll see how they do.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really good stuff. Hey, chat, I want to say, as per the usual, thank you very, very much for all of your support. Do be sure that you have liked and subscribed in all of the places. Like, for instance, maybe you're not hanging out on Facebook, but when we're done, why don't you go on over to Facebook and give a little thumbs up so their algorithm can figure us out. If you know a friend who should be over here checking things out, maybe you know a certain subreddit that needs to be, more engaged with us, pop this over there for them as well. I definitely want to say to everybody, we really appreciate all of your support last year. We look very much forward to this year and where we're going, and it'll be with you. Send me in the driver's seat, at least to Jason, maybe yelling from the back seat.
Leaning over the front.
Over the front. Jockeying for the wheel. But I also want to say thank you to Alex for spending time. Every Monday is a treat, and I'm really excited to see more of the jog, the joy of game mastering. And it'll be a great year. Looking forward to it. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, to love, to share ideas and thoughts. And if you've got something you'd like us to talk about and you want to share it directly, send a note to Let's Play at greenronin.com. Don't forget to go pick up that new astonishing adventure in the Green Ronin online store, or Drive Through RPG, or Roll20. And with that, I say goodbye. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.